Welcome back to our Introduction to American History Anchor Fact series of printables and mini lessons. We now turn to a very important theme in the rise of the modern world, the history of technology. It is true that history focuses mostly on what we call politics, which means how societies are organized with a government. But thankfully, in free societies, there is another story, the story of progress. When America was born in 1776, it was a pre-industrial society. The best George Washington could do to cross the Delaware while fighting for freedom was to get on a raft. The best way he could move on land was to ride a horse. But just a little earlier, in 1769, a new invention called the steam engine had been created by James Watt in Great Britain. Steam engines use the fact that when water boils, it creates steam. And as you can tell, if you boil water in a pot with a lid on it, that steam creates a force, the force that makes the lid jump, and which can be captured inside of a piston to move machines. Steam engines began to be used in locomotives on land and steamships on the oceans. At first, it wasn't at all obvious how great this would be. So to prove that steam engines were the future, an inventor named Peter Cooper set out to create a small steam locomotive to do the work of horses on a railroad near Baltimore, which is in the state of Maryland. A stagecoach company in charge of the horses on the railroad were hoping to prove that their horses were still the best way to operate the railroad. So a race was organized along a 13-mile track with the horse and the engine called the Tom Thumb pulling the same amount of weight. At first, the horse raced ahead because steam engines were slow to start. But the steam engine started to pick up speed, and it even passed the horse. It looked like the future had arrived. But a part of the engine broke and could not be fixed, and soon the horse caught up and won the race. So the steam engine lost, but it was only a matter of time. When the Mayflower had brought the Pilgrims to America, it took 63 days to cross the Atlantic Ocean, and 5 passengers died on the voyage. The SS Savannah, a steamship, made the voyage in only 29 days, which is more than twice as fast. The SS Sirius, a more advanced steamship, made the voyage in only 19 days. The same thing was eventually true on land. The Pony Express could carry a letter across to California at a speed of 8 miles per hour. A train could travel the same distance at 20 miles per hour, which is more than twice as fast. Steam engines and the ships and trains they made possible were becoming bigger and more powerful every year. Soon, railroads were crisscrossing the United States, bringing people closer together. So when California joined the Union as a state, all the way over on the Pacific, it was decided that a transcontinental railroad should be built to link California to the east. The Union had been saved in the Civil War of 1861-5. And in 1869, the Transcontinental Railroad, also known as the Union Pacific, was completed. Workers that had started on the West Coast met up with workers that were laying track towards them from Iowa. The last spike was driven by Leland Stanford of California in 1869, and the project was completed. After this railroad was completed, others soon followed in the United States and Canada. The entire North American continent became a system of railroads connecting everyone together. Of course, many new transportation technologies soon appeared that changed our lives even more, such as the automobile and airplane. But the first transportation revolution came from the steam engine, which is why people sometimes refer to the century from the invention of the steam engine in 1769 to the building of the Transcontinental Railroad in 1869 as the age of steam. It's so nice and convenient that it's exactly 100 years apart. All right, see you again soon.